everyone, my name is Rebecca Grace and I'm the creator of the Encyclopedia of Code, and today we're going to talk about how you can add a transparent background color to text and buttons. So for instance, on this Squarespace 7.0 site, I have my tagline button here. Because of the image in the background, you really can't see part of my word that's hard to read, so I want to add some sort of background to these. That's transparent. So I still want to be able to see the background, but I want the text to stand out a little bit more. And I'm going to show you how to do this on both Squarespace 7.0 and 7.1. It works for both options. Okay, so what you're going to do is make sure you have your text and buttons set up, and then we're going to add some custom CSS. So what you're going to do is go to Design, Custom CSS, and we're going to add some code in here. Now I'm going to use this Chrome extension called Squarespace Collection Block Identifier because we're going to need to get the block ID of the text and the button. So this is the tool that I like to use. You just click on it and it will bring up the collection ID of the page as well as the block IDs on the page. So I'm going to grab the block ID of the text block and paste it in here. And then I'm going to add open and closing curly brackets, and all of my code is going to go inside of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a background. So we're going to call it background. I'm going to be using black, but you can look up the RGB code of whatever brand color you'd like to add as the background to this. So I'm going to put RGBA. The A stands for the alpha or the opacity of it. Bracket. Put in your RGB code, so for black that's 000, and then the last number tells you how opaque it or transparent it will be. So I'm going to use 0.6. The closer it is to 1, the closer it will be to just straight black. So if I use a 1, it'll just be black. If I use a 0, there'll be nothing there. It'll be completely transparent. So I'm going to try 0.6, which I think helps it stand out. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the button. So I'm going to grab the block ID of the button, paste it in here, open and closing curly brackets, and I'm going to add a background. I'm going to add the same one so it looks like they're all together. And it will look like this. Now a couple things that I want to change just to make this look a little bit better. I think the box is too close to my word sustainability up here, so I'm going to add some spacing between the word and the edge of the block. That is padding. So I'm going to do padding on the top, so I only want to come on the top, and I'm going to try 2 VW. The reason I use VW is that will be responsive to screen sizes. If I use pixels, it'll be the same on all screen sizes. It's up to you which you like to use. And I think that's maybe a little bit big, so I'm going to drop it down to 1.5, maybe just 1. Yeah, I like the looks of that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the button on the bottom here. I'm going to add a padding to the bottom of 1 VW. The last thing is I think it goes too big, but the easiest way to change that is to actually just put spacer blocks in. So I'm going to click to edit my section. And I'm going to add a spacer block and then just drag the spacer block so that the blue line is all the way across the side so it affects both the text block and the button. Add another one and drag it to the other side. Then I can play with these, make them the same. Click Save. And there I have it. Now you can do the exact same thing in Squarespace 7.1. So if I want to add some background to these, I'm going to go to Design, Custom CSS. I'm going to grab the block IDs and add a background. Then I'm going to add a little bit of spacing at the top of this word. So again, padding, top. And then on the bottom of the button, and click Save. Now, if you want to change the width of the box inside 7.1, you don't have to add spacer blocks. There's actually an easier way in 7.1, and that is just to change the width of the button. So I have it down to small. The larger I get, the more black that's on the side, and then just make sure that you have it aligned how you would like. So you don't need to add spacer blocks to the side like you did in 7.0. You can just change the width of the content of this section. And there you have it. That is how you add a transparent background color to text and buttons in Squarespace 7.0 and 7.1. So if you like this tutorial, make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on my blog, make sure to sign up in the box below so that you can be notified when a new tutorial is posted. Until then, that is how you add a transparent background to text and buttons in Squarespace.